Hello and welcome to this video where I want to give you a short guide of where in win-win-win parenting you can find the answers to how do I stop from getting so triggered and angry. That's a big problem for a lot of parents. There's three main reasons for getting triggered. One is you have inflexible thoughts about your kids that are causing problems. Two, you're directing too much. You're being too bossy and they don't like it and they're tuning you out. Or three is you're doing poor directing. When you are giving directions, they aren't done well at all. So let me address where you can find the solutions to these three main problems. So the first one is your inflexible thinking that causes you to have negative feelings about your children. They feel those negative feelings and they don't want to cooperate with you. They feel hurt, they're going to hurt you back. This is in module 3, right? And some of the thoughts you might have about you kids is like they're just being so stubborn. There's a whole variety of different things, right? Or they only think about themselves. Maybe you're even thinking, they don't care what I want. Very common for parents to feel that way. How about they're so selfish, they're so mean, they're so lazy, irresponsible, like you putting labels on them, which then makes them the problem. They're the problem, and if they changed, life would be better. You will learn in this program that's not how it works. When you change, the kids change. So you can imagine when you're thinking these things, which are very negative about your kids, you might be saying to yourself, well, they're all true. However, that's not how change happens. So make sure you check out about how you can change your thinking. Because when you change what you think about the situation in your child, that'll change your feelings. And then you'll able to do appropriate strategies, actions. I'm going to tell you, until you fundamentally change how you're thinking about your child, no strategy you try will work. You'll say, well, I tried that and it didn't work. That's because the thinking must change so that the thinking matches the action. So please don't miss this module. A lot of people are like, just tell me what to do. No, the thoughts and the feelings need to change first for this to really work and to be successful. The second problem is that to learn the 3 parenting roles, and this is all in module 2. And so the 3 roles you'll learn about is when to be a director, when to be a collaborator, and when to be a supporter. Because when you're a director, you're giving directions. You're saying, I decide. You're saying, I have the power. When you're a collaborator, you are making decisions together with your child, which also gives them power. They need power. If they don't get it in a positive way through contributing to independence, they're going to get it in a negative way through rebellion. And the third role, so important to learn, is the supporter role. And this is when you're saying, you know what, you're going to solve this problem. I'm here to support you thinking about the problem. And I'm not going to tell you what to do. So you can see, if you're doing the director all the time, then they don't feel any power. They're going to rebel against you. And the third reason that comes up is even if you try to be the director, you're not doing it in the best effective way. There's a lot of ways of parents trying to say director statements. Well, they don't even think about that. They're just trying to get their kids to do something. And it's causing rebellion and revenge in their kids. So I'm just going to go through a few. Let's see if you're doing any of these. You should have. So start to pay attention. Are you starting a sentence with that? You should have. Are you saying, why didn't you? Are you saying, how many times do I have to tell you? This is a very common one. Perhaps if you don't, maybe you're doing a threat. If you don't pick up your things right now, then I'm going to put them away and you won't have them. All of these attempts at controlling your children are not effective. So we want to work on changing those strategies. So to start the effective change, you want to think about, what can I stop saying that isn't helpful? I gave you a list of 4. Maybe there's one or two of those, but you'll find out more when you go into the module and go into it in depth. And you want to work on starting to replace a little bit at a time those hurtful statements with respectful directions instead. What a difference it's going to make. Instead of looking at how can I change them, this program will teach you how can I change myself. So when I change, my child will respond differently. That's where the power is. The power is in you being respectful and you thinking about how can you change it so that you can create more connection and cooperation and collaboration, and you won't get triggered. So I know you will have such great success going through and dealing with each one of these three issues. So you can feel much happier with yourself. So good luck.